Good evening. Last session, we discussed about how we can design some navigation techniques we learned. And one more extra, we learned how to use bootstrap icons. We learned about how to deal with bootstrap icons. I hope everyone tried this, able to get these icons. Yeah? What problem? So already I told you, you need to install from command prompt, not from PowerShell, right? That you should never forget that. So till now, what we learned is in the body section, how to present the contents with various elements we discussed. Now, so many things are there in the body section. We discussed only semantic elements like header, footer, section, and all this. But when you are presenting contents in body section, a lot of other options we have to know. What are those? Today we will see, right? So we will first see how to deal with body section literals. Literals. How to deal with body section literals. That means while designing the contents in the body section, basic some elements and concepts are required very regularly. How to handle these literals? See, first point is line breaks. First option is line breaks. When you are designing anything in HTML body section, you are using various editors. Editors like Visual Studio Code or some editor. Currently, our editor is Visual Studio Code. This is the editor. Now, the problem is how you write in editor, browser cannot understand in the same way. That means you write in editor in one way, browser uses it in another way. That is a regular problem. Browser cannot understand how you written in editor. It will translate everything by using browser engine and all. So it cannot present exactly everything how you are writing in editor. We have to use manually all the tags and entities. How? First point is line breaks. I will just give here basic elements.html. Let's create a simple HTML page. Doc type HTML head title some basic elements. In that body section, we are writing so HTML and it is a markup language. So it is used for presentation. Actually, in the editor, I written in 3 lines. But when I see in the output, everything comes in 1 line. That means how you written in editor, it is not presented in the same way. First point is the line breaks that you given, they are ignored. Then what you have to do is you have to manually add line breaks. We have to manually add line breaks by using BR. BR is used for line breaks. So wherever you want a line break, then you can use BR. BR will add a line break, one line break. If I write 2BR, 2 lines break like that. That means you see here, after HTML, I want a line break. So after HTML, we have to add BR. Then after HTML, a line break will come. After the language, I want line break. Then here we have to manually add BR. So you see it will become BR. You cannot write 3 lines in 3 divs because that's not good idea, because these 3 lines belong to one category only. If you again write in 3 divs, it thinks that this is separate definition, this is separate definition, but these 2 definitions belong to one only. So writing separate divs is not good idea because it makes division completely, but these 2 belong to one. Then better you use a break and display like this. Line breaks you can add anywhere. It's not that line break should be added at the end. Anywhere you can add a line break. Suppose after for word I am using BR, then automatically line breaks there and the next word comes here. So line break you can use anywhere. It's not that line breaks are written at the end. Anywhere you can break the line. Just you have to use a BR for that. BR. And if I use another BR, then you can see 2 line breaks will come. Space will be added for that. So BR is used for line breaks, is used for line breaks. That's a simple concept, line break. Now here, one important question comes regularly, people ask in interviews, like what is difference between BR and the BR slash, like this. Many times people ask this BR and BR slash. So technically, no difference, no difference. So remember one point here. Already I told you this concept in a void elements category. You remembered we discussed about void elements, normal elements, void elements. HTML contains how many types of elements? 5 types of elements: normal, void, RC data, raw text, and form. Void elements doesn't require an end tag. Doesn't require an end tag. And when you write that BR, the editor that we are using, sometimes editor thinks that you are missing end tag because the editor we are using is Visual Studio Code. It is not an official editor of HTML. That means don't think that whatever the Visual Studio Code provides is correct. It may go wrong in so many ways because this is not officially recommended or provided by the people who provide HTML to us. That means there is no official editor recommended by HTML people. You can use any editor. And when you are using any editor, then every editor may have some technical issues. So some editors, what they do is when you write a void element, they will give a warning saying that end tag is missing. But as a developer, we know that void elements don't need an end tag. Then to satisfy the editor, we will write like this BR slash. But there is no BR slash in HTML. That is completely not available in HTML. Then why people write like this? It will work. Then why people write like this? Just to satisfy the editor that this is not a error, this is not a problem, it is not having an end tag. We are telling that to editor. So you see now, actually I use BR slash, it's working fine. You see here I am using BR slash, and finally right click, inspect. In the developer tools, you can see here in the elements, there is BR is BR only. There is no BR slash. Even you return BR slash, browser don't know that because there is no BR slash in HTML. This is only developer own technique of writing a tag. So professionally we don't even recommend this. We don't recommend this. That means we will simply say that don't write. That means, so officially, that means official, as per the standards, that means html will not provide, html will not provide br slash, html will not provide any br slash. So it is just developers developers technique, technique of writing what kind of element, writing void element, because void elements don't have an end tag. We are saying that it is self ending. We say that it ends, it is a void element. This is to indicate that it is self ending. Self ending means no end tag is required. So forget about this at all. That means just remember this as a question asked in interviews. Never use this at all. You may have to use in some softwares where it cannot recognize void elements. When it is not recognizing void elements, you have to manually tell it. For that you have to use this. If you are only directly using html, you don't need to do that. So there is no difference between br and br slash. Always recommended to use br only, right? Even you write br slash, it finally takes br only. That you have seen that in the browser. Next important is blank spaces. Blank spaces. HTML, when you are writing, designing a page, the regular problems will be these line breaks and blank spaces. Actually, HTML allow a blank space, one character space between words or between characters. One character space between words or between characters. Anything extra, it will delete it. Anything extra, it will delete it. That means, for example, here I have the word HTML, and you see this is the word HTML just for your visuals. Now I am using one character space HTML, and it will able to present that one character space. Okay, working fine. I am using after H 2, 3, 4, 5 character space, and you see it's not working. That means by default, only one character space between words or between characters, it will take. Anything extra, it will delete it. But if you want manually some space, extra space, you need to define by using ampersand NBSP. NBSP. This is NBSP semicolon. This is an entity used for blank spaces. We call this as non-breakable space. Breakable space. Non-breakable space. This is used to add one character space. Extra one character space you can add by using ampersand NBSP. You can't use spaces manually. Even you use, it's not working. Even you use, it's not working. So what you have to do is, if you want to give an extra space, you cannot give like this spaces. Already one character space it is taking. Extra ampersand NBSP semicolon. That means now it will give one more character space between H and T. For every blank space, you have to use again ampersand NBSP semicolon. For every blank space, you have to use that extra space you have to define. So between words or between characters, extra space is not recognized. When you write extra space in your code, finally when it goes to output, it will not show. So you have to manually add spaces. For these, you have solution in CSS, but without CSS, we can apply with HTML. With HTML, we can define the line breaks, we can define the blank spaces. So when you are writing, we have to know about line breaks and blank spaces. Next important in HTML is pre-formatted text. Pre-formatted text. Another important, these are all basic things in designing. Pre-formatted text means now you understood how to get a space and you understood how to get a break. Suppose after T, I want to break the line. Then after T, I can use BR. It will break the line. So we learned how to put line breaks, how to put spaces. So see now what I am doing. I am writing a div. I will say sample C program. And below that another div. Here I am writing hash include so std io.h. It is, I am not trying to write some program to run. I am just presenting one code. I am presenting some code. I am presenting. So here I am writing like this. So we have main and we are writing like this. So printf. So I say welcome to HTML, something like this. I return like this. And the concept is actually our concept is not this program. You don't understand this program, doesn't matter. This is not a program written for your understanding sake. That is, our point is I want to present like this. I want to present this program like this. That means you are a web designer. You don't need to know any C language, but you have to design a online exam for C language. You are a web designer, you have to design C language. You are not a engineering student, but you need to prepare a question paper for engineering student online. You need to design formulas, expressions, lot of will be there. You don't need to understand. You have to just print as it is. Means you have to design the characters in the same way how they are giving in the paper to you. They will give a paper. They say that design this paper exactly how it is in the screen. And on the online, I want it. Online, I want it. Then I tried like this now. And you can see that here, my intention is correct spaces, line breaks, everything. But you see, it is displayed everything in one line. Everything in one line. So that means it is unable to present it correctly how I am expecting it. Then now you see stdio.h is missing. Why stdio.h is missing? Because anything you put in angle bracket, it thinks it is HTML tag. But our intention is to print this angle brackets. So directly angle brackets, it will not take. In HTML, whenever you put an angle bracket, it thinks HTML code. That is the reason if you want to print this angle bracket, you have to use ampersand LT, semicolon, that is less than, ampersand GT. So ampersand GT, this is greater than symbol. So ampersand LT for less than, ampersand GT for greater than. Now you will see that character comes here. Directly greater than, less than symbols are not printed. You can't print them at all. Why? Because if you directly put those two, it thinks that it is a tag, because those two characters are used for tag. Individually greater than symbol, less than symbol you can use, but combined you cannot use, because combined it will form a tag. So it cannot print it. That's the reason you have to print with characters, special characters like that, but still not satisfying in the placement. Still not satisfying how it looks like. Now after stdio.h, I want a break. Then what we have to do? You have to write a BR. After main again BR. After curly brace again BR. After curly brace here 3-4 spaces. Ampersand NBSP, ampersand NBS. After printf again BR. It will take so much time. Then you can do one thing. You can simply use a pre-element. Pre-element. What is the advantage of pre-element is, it can present the information exactly how it is in the editor. In editor, how you designed, that means formats. In editor, in which format it is designed, in the same format it will present. That means it will not try to convert the blank spaces, line breaks into one line. That means pre-formatted means how it is formatted in the editor, in the same way it will display. That means now what you have to do is simple. Put this entire code in a pre tag. Put that entire in a pre container, everything. This is a container. In this container you keep everything inside. Then what happens is you can see it is going to display exactly in that way. I don't need to use a lot of line breaks, blank spaces, and waste my time in this. I can just, you cannot present entire page like this. Why? Because a lot of other alignments will disturb. So for the content, if you want to present exactly in that way, you can present. Now some people have a doubt like, now can I use angle brackets? No, you cannot use angle brackets in pre-formatted tag. In pre-formatted tag, so in pre-formatted tag, in pre-formatted tag, even you put an angle bracket, it will be treated as a tag only. That is the reason for printing those angle brackets. What you have to do? Printing the angle brackets, we have to use this symbols. Even you write in a pre, even you write in a pre, to print symbols, you need these characters. You need those characters. You need to define in this way. What is meant by pre? Pre means alignments will be in the same way. Alignments, spaces will be in the same way. How you see in the editor, in the same way it will present. It will present. For example, if I written this angle bracket, because sometimes people think that, so generally people think that it will present exactly how you written in editor. If I tell that sentence, people miscommunicate. They think that then it will print this also, because you said that it will print exactly like that. That means they will think that this also will print like this. No. So wherever tags are there, even you written in a pre, it will not be printed. You see, it's not printed. That means what is pre? Pre is only for alignments. Pre is only for alignments. It is only for alignment. Where you aligned, where you kept, there only it will print. Rest of other things you have to take care. I want to print this symbol. Then what we have to do? Ampersand less the. And here I want to print ampersand GT. That's how we need to configure. That is how we need to define the contents. So while working with, so the formatted contents, these are the options. I hope these are very simple and clear to understand. How to put a line break, and how to put blank spaces, and how to design pre-formatted contents. Pre-formatted contents. Next important, in HTML, so we have variables newly added. Variables, we have variables. Variables are defined by using var. It is defined by using var. These days what happened is, these are all some new things in HTML actually. These days what happens is, uh, online several coding playgrounds are introduced. Several coding playgrounds are there. So that is the reason online coding playgrounds means, for example, suppose you want to practice some Java, .NET, PHP, Python like technologies. Then generally to practice them, so you need to install them in your computers. To install them, you need certain configurations. You need certain configurations. Everything you need to set up. But these days, what happened is several technologies have online playgrounds, online coding playgrounds. That means without installing any software, you can just open browser. In browser, you can open a tool. In that tool, you can write the program and test. That means the advantage is even a mobile user also can practice his Java programs. Even a mobile user without installing Java in his mobile, he can practice Java programs. He can practice C programs. He can practice C++ programs like that. So many are there. For example, you see, so JS Fiddle, suppose JS Fiddle. This is one JavaScript coding playground. This is, if I open this jsfiddle.net, that means here I can, without installing Visual Studio Code, right? You can practice your HTML, you can practice CSS, you can practice JavaScript. What it will do, it will give the editor like this. You write here, suppose, so a div, and I said welcome, and after that, you click on the run, it will show the output here. That means it will display how it will come. That means without installing any software, you can practice your programming, Java, .NET, everything. Playgrounds are available these days. Now, these kind of playgrounds, when you are using programming and all these things, so to make them understandable about the programs people are writing here, these are not for everybody. These are for technically people who know programming and all. So to make the browser understand that this is code, this is program, this is a variable, this is the data types. So for that, what we do is we have special elements so that browser can easily understand. So browser can easily understand. For that, we have some options like, see, I will copy this example for pre, just an example for your notes. Yeah. Now you see variables. For example, I am defining here. I am writing here some program like, suppose I written where x is equal to 10. In the next line, so where y is equal to 20. In the next line, so where z is equal to x plus y. Like this, I'm just writing some program. So actually it looks normal, nothing special. It looks normal, nothing special. But for the playgrounds, for special software tools, we want to tell that this is a memory where this 10 value is stored. Just visual presentation. You are not doing any programming here. Don't think that result will come now, right? This is just only presentation. Now in presentation, we want to highlight that this is a storage location. X is storage location, Y is storage location, Z is storage location. Then we have an option for X. We can use var. In a var, you can keep X. In a var, you can keep Y. In a var, you can keep Y. In a var, you can keep Z. And in a var, you can keep these two. So var X plus var Y. Like this, we have to write. So that easily the softwares can understand the code that you are writing here. Now you can see that in the output, it looks like this, different characters. And what you can do, because you know little bit CSS now, you can put a style and say wherever var is there. So the color we will put as gray. That means it looks in this way. That means wherever the variables are there, we can highlight them and we can make them easily understandable. Right? I just given some basic color for that. The intention is presentation. This is not any coding program that gives you the result of X plus Y. This is just presentation. So for that, we have several new things in HTML. And this is one very regularly used option in such coding presentations. We have var for variables. Example, I will copy this code. Another important, you have code. We have code snippet. Code snippets means code blocks. Code blocks. Code blocks are defined by using code. Code blocks are defined by using code. You have a special element called code. By using that, we define the code blocks. Actually, this is also used for such purpose only. For example, see here. Suppose I am defining so something like this. So I said a div. So invalid operation. invalid operation. And here I will define a code. In the code, so here I defined page not found. And here in the code, I am writing here some HTTP colon double slash some local host, some number double five, roughly something, some public slash some contact dot html, like this I written. It looks normal. You see, code looks with a different appearance. Now usually what we do is we have an habit of defining wherever code comes the color, so should be the color should be set to red, so that means it shows some error like this. That means this is a special kind of appearances given for such code blocks, error messages and all. For them we use this code. So there is nothing. You can use an ordinary div and use it. But these will make browsers easily understand that, okay, this is some code problem coming, right? Search engines can easily understand. Browser can easily understand. I told you, as per the standards, if you design, then it will be more SEO friendly. If you don't design as per the standards, then it will be not search engine friendly, not browser friendly. Then it cannot work in a proper way what you are expecting. That is the reason so many new things are added into this and you need to know about them. So the code snippets are defined by using code. Such kind of presentations, we use this. You can put everything in the code. That means you can even put this page not found. This everything inside that means it will look like this. It will look like this. That is generally how the presentation happens. So, and observe carefully, this code block have a different font style. It have a different font style. It have a different appearance, different size from the general characters. So we can apply more effects by using our styles. We can apply border, we can apply colors, we can apply effects, so many other things we can define. As of now, just to understand, that is how the code blocks are written. So another example, I will copy this here. This is another example for code. I hope all these are simple. Understood? Line breaks are defined by using BR. Blank spaces are defined by using ampersand MBSP. Pre-formatted text is displayed with pre. Variables are defined by using var. And code snippets are defined by using code. And another option, so these are all general literals and all. We have titles for content. So titles for content. So actually, titles for contents, how you define the titles for content, what are titles? Earlier, we used to use this in a different way, but now we use this by the name title. Actually, titles for content is nothing but, for example, suppose I will give here some code 404 and it says 404. Now, as a general user, I am confused. What is this 404? I am unable to understand it. What is that 404? I am unable to understand this. Then what I can do is I can keep this in a span because I want to keep beside it only. If I keep in a div, next line will come. I want to keep beside it only span. Okay, it looks normal, no change. Now for this span, I can put a title and say that, so page you requested not found. That is the title I am writing for. That means 404 means this. 404 means page you requested not found. That is 404 means. For a person who is watching, he don't know what is it. Then what I will do is I will keep a asterisk also there so that you can see it looks like this. Now, anybody who sees the such asterisks, he thinks that, okay, some help they may given there. That means when I move the mouse onto this now, when I move the mouse onto this, you can see that it will show the title what you define. So that means the page you requested not found. That is title for that particular content. Earlier we have to use abbreviations and all this. Now not required, just title. So that means, so remember one point. So don't come up with a question like, sir, in a website I have seen like that. In a website somebody has given some other option for this. So we will not consider them. We will not even care about them, because that website may be using a very old technique of tutorial to you, right? We don't care about such old techniques anymore. We will just stick to what is advanced and what is modern in the current generation, right? Because many people don't know this as a title in the new HTML. People who already know HTML, they know this in a different way. They call these as abbreviations or acronyms. There are some other points, but in the new versions of HTML, it is simple title. It is simple title. Earlier there is lengthy other concept. Earlier people have to use like this. That means, for example, this is modern. I will copy this here. Title is defined. That means, so title is a screen tip displayed for text, image, or any graphic. You can use it for anywhere, text, image, or graphic. Syntactically we write like this: span some title is equal to some description, and here you give your text. So span close. So this is just syntax example I will give here. This is the example for that. So what I designed, just an basic example here. Earlier people used to do this in a different way. Earlier people used to do this in a different way, not required now. Actually, you see 404. This 404 is written, so acronym, acronym, and acronym have a title. In that title, we used to use some not found, and say 404, something like this. We used to use such acronyms there. You see not found. That acronym uses not found. That means you can see that acronym is showing not found. But we don't need such acronyms anymore. We don't need acronyms or abbreviations or anything anymore. Just you can keep a span. You can just keep a span. You can keep a span, or you can keep a div, or any container you can keep, and in that you can display that. For example, I am giving here, suppose, a div, and here I given here a span, or simply like HTML, and here I can give a title like hypertext, hypertext markup language, markup language. I can give like this, and you see it will display that HTML, and you move the mouse onto this, and it will display hypertext markup language. That is simple. You can put anywhere where you are keeping your content and configuring your contents. So that is what actually the title for the contents, how you are defining. So this is the basic options how you are presenting the contents. Means while presenting information in the body section, so many basic things are there, like how you will manage breaks, spaces, codes, variables, code snippets, pre-formatted text. Now some more complex things comes. Next important, you need to understand how you define headings, how you configure the headings. Generally, why we need headings and how you configure headings. Now you will get all of them: heading, paragraph, so much will be there. How we need headings, why we need headings, what is the purpose of that actually. Suppose, see, some we are typing here, some content we are configuring and typing here. So here, web technologies. Okay, and HTML, and it is a markup language. Okay, some JavaScript. So it is used as client side script. Okay, with HTML. Some sentences I am giving. Now, important is in this what I written, everything comes in one line. But in this, what I written, so there some headings are present, titles, topics are there. Web technologies is a heading. Under that, HTML is a subheading. In that, uh, JavaScript also same HTML like heading. Under that, some paragraph information is there. To present headings in a special way. Generally, we need headings in a special way. We need headings in a special way means some font style appearance and all. So HTML provides ready-made heading styles. We can apply H from one level to six level. This is heading one. Up to heading six levels we can give H6. H6. One, heading two, heading three, heading four. Gradually, heading six is the last level, last level. And heading one is the first level. So this is the first level heading. Gradually from first to last size decreases and all. You see now here, suppose web technologies is heading, then I will keep this in heading one. So that means we keep that web technologies in heading one. Okay. Now you can see it looks like this. Now headings by default have different concept. By default it is bold. By default its size is increased. By default it is having line break. Automatically line break is also coming. Line break is above line break, below line break. So heading have a ready-made effect. Ready-made effect. Now see here. I will put this HTML second level heading, means under web technologies this is a heading. Then we will not give as same appearance, so we will give heading 2 style. Heading 2 style, that means you can see it looks like little different from the heading 1. Size will decrease, that's it. Size will decrease. Now similarly for JavaScript also it is same second level heading here. That means it is not like it is first heading, second heading, third heading. It's level numbers we are defining. JavaScript is also same like HTML. That means it also will have which level? 2. That means now these two look similar. So headings like this you can give up to 6 levels gradually, but lot of questions are there here. The point is that's okay. This is working fine, very good. So you have a special appearance for headings, special appearance for headings. But so many things you need to know here. First point is First point here is headings can use align attribute. Align attribute for left, center, right, or justify. Same like body section, heading can use align attribute. That means in heading we can give align is equal to center, left, right, like this. So that is first point. Suppose I will keep align. Align is equal to center, then that heading will be center. We can keep center, we can keep left. By default, it is left, center, right, justified alignments we can configure. So heading can have align attribute. But here point is, the key concept here is, don't use headings to highlight any word or sentence in paragraph. Don't use headings to highlight any word or sentence in paragraph. Use headings only for headings. Use headings only for headings. For example, you see, suppose I want to highlight the word client side script because you saw that heading have a special appearance. Then if you think that you will keep in heading 4, then what is problem? Headings will have a line break above and below. Automatically you will see that. So it gets a line break. So don't ever use headings for highlighting words and sentences. Use headings only for headings. So don't use to highlight any sentence. That is not good because headings will have a line break above and below. Another important point is here, see, when you are using headings, don't use too many headings in page, headings in page. Why we should not use too many headings in a page? Because that is the concept you need to know correctly. Actually, why to use headings at all? Suppose, see, I will show you that without heading, I will write here a word called CSS, and it is used for styles. Okay. Now observe carefully this CSS word. What I am doing is I will put a BR line break. For this CSS word, I am using font. Don't worry what is font. I will tell you later. I will give here size as some 4 or 5, and I make this CSS as bold, and you can put a break here. 2 lines break I'm giving, and you can see 2 lines break above, and you can see this CSS also looks same. Without heading I am giving it. Now the question is, why to use headings? Why to use a heading element if I can give the same appearance without heading also? Because the person who is watching your website, he don't know HTML. He don't know HTML, illiterate of technology. That means he don't know anything about your technology, what you are doing. He just knows what he is watching on screen. For him, he can feel it as a heading. CSS is a heading to everybody who will see this page, right? But only you know that CSS is not written with heading. He don't care. Why he need to know it? He don't need to know it, right? He don't care about what you written in the background, right? For him it is feeling like heading, that's enough. Right now the question is, then why you written heading tag? Why you used heading tag? Actually, this is not, heading is not for only presentation. Heading is to tell the search engines about the topics in your page. That means search engines use crawlers. I told you already, web crawlers can crawl over the page. They can collect all the headings and they can make a summary of the page saying that this page contains these details. That means this page contains topics like HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. But now, if crawler crawls, then it can get only 2 topics from your page. It says that this page contains HTML and JavaScript. It will not consider CSS temporarily. For your understanding, observe here, I am writing some code. You don't worry about this code. Okay. Just I'm writing a code to make you understand. I'm writing some script function body load. I'm writing some rough code here. So where some x is equal to document get elements by tag name. And here I'm using how many headings are there? I'm using alert. So total number of headings. So headings in page and x dot length. So now you see here, when I run this page, means when I run my program, because robots use such programs to understand how many headings are there. And you see my robot, my program is saying that your page contains only 2 headings. it says that it has only two headings. Actually I am searching for two subtopics na. That means how many total number of subheadings, huh? Subheadings in page, how many number of subheadings in page? It says two. That means for a general person who is watching your site, he says that three are there na? But the search engine says that only two are there because it is unable to recognize this CSS as a topic. Then how it recognizes that as a topic? How it recognizes as a topic? So it recognizes that as a topic if you defined it. If you defined it not like this, if you defined it by using a heading style, understood? If I defined it by using heading style, now my search engine can understand. It says three are there. That means how it is appeared to a user, it doesn't matter. Right? For a programmer, it is very important. Why? Because a developer writes heading for the sake of search engines, not for the sake of users. Users can understand and see it as a heading without heading tag also. We can apply through styles and effects and we can write it. That means the question here is, then why, this is the point here. Why not to use too many headings? If you put 100 headings in one page, the crawler scrolls and it sees that so many topics are highlighted in the same page. It simply says that this is dustbin, spam. That means this page address is dustbin. That means these people are trying to highlight so many topics in page. This is not right. Then it will spam the page. You know, spam means internet's dustbin. That means your page will go into dustbin. That means it is not completely unprofessional page. That means you are trying to highlight so many topics. It cannot summary. It cannot make a summary. That is too much. Then it simply ignores that page. That means your page is not returned in such results. So don't use too many. There is no limit. Now some people will immediately come and ask, sir, total how many I can give maximum? They want a number count. Right? Otherwise, they will not sleep today. They will not satisfy. They want final count 10, 20, 30, 40. That's not, that is a silly thing, right? It's not like how many headings limit is there. There is no limit. But that depends on how much length of page you are designing. In that length, how many topics you are giving and highlighting as headings. You have only 2-3 paragraphs of page content. In that 10 headings you write. That means that is a general common sense that it looks rubbish. Right? In 5 paragraphs, 10 headings, that is looks that you can easily identify. Not robot, you can easily identify that it is not good. So that is the reason there is no certain limit, but you have to follow as per the standards. That means you need to check how much lengthy topic you are presenting, in that how many topics may be good for that particular page. So is the page so much lengthy, then you can go with more topics. If not lengthy, then few. That is the very important concept. So don't use too many headings in the page. Why? It may it may lead it may lead to spam, right? It may lead to spam. This is very important. So now the question asked in interview is, why to use heading? Why to use heading element? So why to use heading element? Without heading, we can apply, similar effect, right? I already showed you. Without heading, we can apply similar effect. Why to use heading? And you know the answer. To make it, to make the page topics, to make the page topics SEO friendly. To make the page topics SEO friendly so that it can easily summarize your contents and use. So that is the purpose of headings. It may topic may look simple, but so many complicated concepts are there. As per the standards, you need to learn so many things about it, right? So how to write headings? How do we configure headings? Why to write headings? Another question asked is, can we change the font size and color or effects for heading, for heading. So that means already heading has different font size, different style. Can I change again? Yes, you can change. Yes, you can change. With the styles, you can change. With styles, you can change. That means you can make it look better than what HTML is providing. But finally, search engine recognizes the tag. Is it H1 or H2 or H3? How appearance, that's your wish. That means you can change the appearance of heading 1. You can change the appearance of heading 1. What I will do, I will go here. These all scripts are not required for you, right? Just I showed you a concept. Now see here, I am writing heading 1. Heading 1, I given border as 2 pixels, solid, some red color, background color, some yellow. So color, some red color, some padding. I defined as 4 pixel, and it looks like this. That means after giving heading, you can give any type of appearance to that. Suppose I am giving here, suppose font size as 50 pixels, font size 50 pixels, size increases. That means you can change it, but how much size it is there, search engine will not recognize that. Heading level 1, level 2, level 3. Based on that, it indicates that H1 means main topic, H2 means subtopics, H3 means child topics. It will identify that. It will not identify based on the size and color of heading you given. It will identify by using the level numbers you given, which is main heading, which is subheading. It will identify based on levels, not on color. Because a subheading I can give, for example, I can give heading 2 font size as 100 pixel. That means it can be larger than ordinary. Based on size, based on color, it will not recognize that it is heading level 1 or level 2, depending on the tags. That is the reason. The point is, can we change the effect of heading? You can change the effect of heading. So answer is yes, with the help of styles. So that is headings, how you configure the headings and define them. So this is one important how to specify the contents and use. So I hope you are clear with these all points about headings, right? So it is not just that you are writing heading. There is a lot of concept behind this. Why you are writing headings and what precautions we have to take while writing headings, right? Next important after headings, another option we have paragraphs and block quotes. We have paragraphs and block quotes. Paragraph is defined with P for paragraph, and the block quote is defined by using block quote. Block quote is for block quote. What is difference? I will tell you here. Suppose this is for block quotes. Block quote. What is paragraph? What is block quote? That is again same concept here. Suppose you see. Suppose I am adding some content reasonably here. Let's go. And here I am defining a simple heading HTML. Under HTML, some sentences information I need to present. I will copy some paragraph. I will copy one paragraph and I will paste this paragraph here. Now, very important, one paragraph, two paragraph, three paragraphs I paste. But as per the presentation, it looks as one paragraph only. It looks as one paragraph only. Now, I told you, if you remembered, actually, we can keep every paragraph in a div. Every paragraph in a div. Even if you put every paragraph in a div, that is not a great idea as of this topic, because all these belongs to one topic only. No? Then all these that means this is continued to the next one. If it is continued to the next one, keeping in a div says that it is separated from the first one. That means if the first sentence is continuing to the second is continuing to the third, better not to use divs. Better not to use divs. If you use divs, then the search engines think that that first topic finished, second topic started. but actually second paragraph is not second topic. It continued to the previous. In that case, the best way is present this in a paragraph. That means put a div. Okay. In this div, put a paragraph. Now again, so take the second one. Take the second one, and this will be in the same div, another paragraph, right? And take the third one. So the same, and here in that we keep another third one. It looks, so you see it is like this now. That means all these paragraphs belong to one category, right? They belong to one category, and this paragraph continues to this continues to this. But what is specialty here is, by keeping everything in a p element paragraph, you will have a clean line break for every paragraph. That means all these belongs to one category, but this paragraph is separated from the second one, but all are continuing. This topic continues to the second continues to the third. We can define the paragraphs in this way. We can configure the paragraph in this way. So paragraphs are used for presenting the contents like paragraphs. And paragraph have alignment. That means you can align paragraph by using left, center, right, or justify. Justify will keep the right side margins correctly, evenly aligned, right? Now you see here, for paragraphs we can keep alignment. Suppose the paragraph, so see, suppose some right side unevenness is there for paragraphs, we need to reduce that. Then what you can give, align is equal to justify. It keeps correctly blocked. We can keep that for all the paragraphs. That means align is equal to justify. Align is equal to justify. We will keep all the similar options. You see it is justified. So paragraphs will have a line break above and below. By default, you don't need to put any BRs. Automatically they have line break above and below. Now block quote is similar to paragraph, but it will have left and right indents. Why to write block quotes? What is the meaning of block quote in general? What is the meaning of block quote in general? You have English textbook, English lesson, novels, or poems. So when you are having an English lesson or a poem, you will have a summary of that lesson, right? Summary of that particular, that is called block quotes. They are block quotes, na? They are block quotes. That means, for example, see here, suppose I want here, so summary of these paragraphs, just a summary I want here. Then I will put a block quote. In the block quote, I can keep some paragraph here. Just this paragraph I will copy. Same, you can keep any lengthy. I'm just using. Now block quote also looks same like paragraph, but observe carefully. It will be like this. Block quote will have left margin, right margin. It will have left, right margin. Only little bit. If you want more, you have to apply with styles. But what is the specialty now? See, block quote align, I given as align as justify. Align as justify. It will be justified. And what we do is, in style we write block quote. So I will say font style as italic. Font style as italic, and color I said gray, and you can see that it looks like this. And if you want the block quote more adjusted, that means I can give margin left 200 pixel and margin right 200 pixel, because if I give margin, it will be all directions. Only left and right we need to adjust. You can see it will be there. That is the intention of block quotes. The main intention of a block quote. Now, very important, you can apply this for a paragraph also. Then why to write in block quote? You can apply this for a div also. Then why to write in block quote? If I write in block quote, then only search engines can understand that this is summary. Right? Without block quote, you can write in a div, you can apply alignments, you can apply colors, everything you can achieve. Then why specially block quote tag is there for this? So everything search engine friendly. Developing website primary concept is search engine friendly. If you miss that, you are not a developer. You are not a web developer if you miss SEO. That means if you are not targeting search engines, that is waste of time in designing your website. Right? Every website final target should be search engines. That means search engine optimization. They must be targeted towards the search engines, because every business can reach to the clients only through SEOs. So that is the reason final everything you have to design as per SEO, search engine standards, right? So why to write block quote? That means it can summarize your topics. It can pick the summary from this block quotes. From this block quotes. That is the advantage of that, right? These are all the elements that you have to use generally while presenting. So this is another important example. This is paragraphs and block quotes, how to configure them. I hope you are clear with this, right? Now, similarly, we have ordered list, unordered list, so many things others that we will see next session. Today enough, right? Today we learned so many things in the body section. You need practice, right? Because in the first sessions, if you don't catch my wavelength and you can't get into the day by day practices, in future you will be very much confused. So that is the reason I will give you time, right? Every day only few topics you practice. Next level speed will increase, next level content will increase, next level you have to do more than what you are learning every day in the beginning. That is the reason to set into that wavelength. You have to practice day by day, day by day. You cannot wait and say that after 4 days I will try this, after 10 days after HTML I will start learning HTML. No, you can't catch, you can't handle it. So that is the reason I already warning you in the beginning itself, right? You cannot wait and see for practice, right? You need to practice immediate doubts, immediate. You, what I will do is every Saturday I will take a complete doubt session, only doubt session. Every Saturday I will take only doubt session. That means in that session we will clarify all the doubts of the people, everybody, each and everyone, until the Saturday class we have done all the topics. Okay, so tomorrow we will continue. Tomorrow we will see some other options how to handle them. Okay, right.